Hey everybody, I'm Den Haring. Welcome back to my channel, Fish Den 365. Today we're going to be unboxing some new reel and rod that I got. I've decided to try BFS, the bait finesse system. I've got a Curado bait finesse reel in here, and then I've got a rod that will pull out. It's a Dobyns, I think it's called a Sierra Ultra Light rod. Coming up next. All right, let's get into this and take a look and see how this looks. We want to do a little review, get a first impression of this reel and this rod, and then I'd like to spool it up and get it out on the water and see how it works. The goal is to be able to cast this tiny little popper and see how far we can cast it. If it casts like it does on a spinning rod, that would be awesome. It's supposed to be able to do that, so let's find out if it will. Alright, so we're opening this up. So, opening up the box. Oh, the excitement is palpable here. So, oh yeah, so look at that. Wow, that is a much, much, much smaller reel. Well, I don't have big hands. It won't be a problem to palm this guy. I could even reel it with one hand here if I had to. So really cool looking reel, really slick reel here. It's got, looks like it's got magnetic control. It probably also has centrifugal brake. I know the Curados that I currently own have centrifugal brakes, so we'll have to take a look and see about that. Drag feels good. Smooth spool. I like the handles. I always like the knobs on these. Even though it's a small reel, the handle's nice. It's a pretty decent sized reel. Handle, I should say. And as I recall, yeah, here it's an 8.2 to 1 gear ratio, so I can pick up some line pretty quickly with this as well. And there's a little mechanism here that allows you to open this. I'm just curious to see what this looks like in here. Yeah, this is different. So here's the spool. That is very different than any other Curado that I have. Put this back in here. And it looks like the brake on this is only magnetic. I don't see any centrifugal. At least I don't think I see any centrifugal brake. I'll look at the instructions and get back to you on that, because that's kind of important. When usually I keep these brakes pretty low. Right now it's set. Goes from 1 to 6, it looks like. I'll have to look at that a little more carefully. But boy, it feels nice, and it's like this. It's almost like a black, almost like an eagle's green color a little bit there. So that's the reel. Pretty cool looking reel. Now let's take a look at the rod. Well, before we do that, let me just... So it looks like the magnets are detachable. You can actually take them out. Detaching magnets allows you to adjust braking power. Set the brake dial to 6 when detaching magnets. When reattaching magnets, end must be facing outward as shown in the picture. So we'll actually probably be taking some of these magnets out of here before it's all said and done. But I do not see anything on a centrifugal braking system. Looks like only a magnetic system on this particular Curado. All right, let's take a look at the rod. Well, the first thing I want to say about the rod is it is incredibly light. Let's pull it out of the package here carefully. Don't want to cause any harm to the guides. Wow. Man, is that small diameter at the tip. Wow. Cool looking rod though. So this is a Dobyns Sierra series. Let's see what it says here. It's a 7-foot one-piece rod, 2 to 8 pound test line, 1/16 to 5/16 ounce baits is what it's rated for. 1/16 to 5/16. That's pretty darn light. It says light, fast action, ultra finesse casting rod. Boy, I can't wait to pair the reel up with this thing, get the line on it, and see how it works. It's got a ton of guides on it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 guides. If you include the tip, I don't think I've ever had a rod with 16 guides. But I guess that helps cast these light baits. It's amazing. The guides are a little small, so let's take a look and see what the smallest ones look like, because I'm going to want to make sure I can get a knot to go through here, and they do look a bit like micro guides. So that we'll have to see how that goes when we tie it up. But then again, we're using such small diameter line. We're going to be using 8-pound test braid and with 6-pound test leader. So that knot will be quite small compared to, you know, if I was using 20-pound braid and 15-pound leader, something like that. So yeah, this is going to be an interesting rod to fish with. The next step for me is to get this thing, put some line on it, and try it out. So we'll see how it works. Again, we're going to try and see how well it'll cast a little teeny pop R like this one. Very tiny bait here. Alright, we got the body cam on here and we're ready to film our BFS experiment with this tiny little popper. We'll see how far we can cast this thing. What I did not do, maybe I should have, was take a spinning outfit and put the same bait on a spinning rod to see how it compares. But you can see I'm getting further distance every cast right now. Just had to get this line laying correctly on the reel. So we'll continue to experiment with this just to see how far of a cast. I'm going to tighten the spool control knob a little bit. And see if that makes a difference. Throwing it out there now. I'm still getting the backlash. So what I'll do now is loosen that spool, but turn a magnet or two up here. See what happens with that methodology. Okay, let's engage. We'll go to number 3 on the magnets. See what that does. Oh yeah, that's a little bit more smooth. Now maybe with a harder throw. We'll go to number 2 on the magnet and see if that's a good in between. Maybe even 2.5. Yeah. There's 2.5. We'll see if that. Oh yeah. That's a little bit better. See, the spool's good, and that was a further cast. That time I sent it out there pretty good. You can see me working the bait out there, just so you know how far it was. Also, the accuracy is good. I'm able to throw it where I want to. It's just a matter of how far can I throw it. Now that was further still. I'm going to take the magnet down to number 2. See if I can get it out there further. It's 2.5 right now. It's working pretty good. Definitely a much further than you can throw it with any other bait casting gear, that's for sure. Alright, let's go to number 2 here. Oh, that's further still. Yep, that's pretty good. There you go. Look at that. Now we're talking. Look at that. No backlash, two-hand cast, and I just sent that sucker out there pretty dang far. For the size of this bait, I could never get it anywhere near that with a regular bait cast gear, no matter what other one I was using. So that's pretty cool. So once we got that reel dialed in, we were able to throw that popper a good long way. That popper weighed 1/8 of an ounce. I weighed it after fishing it and throwing it out there. I get the feeling that with that system, depending on the weight of the bait you're throwing, you probably have to make an adjustment on the reel for each type of bait. You know, if you're going down to 1/16 ounce to 1/8 ounce, probably need to make some adjustments with the reel each time. But once you get it dialed in, you're able to throw it a long way and you have a lot of control over it like you would with a bait casting rod. So I enjoyed throwing that popper out there. I'm looking forward to warmer weather when I can go out and throw it for trout. It's got to be great for throwing the small trout lures, fishing for crappie and that kind of thing. And then I'll put it to the test for big smallmouths and largemouths too, when the conditions are such that you need a finesse presentation and you want to have that control that a bait caster gives you. Looking forward to getting it out there in the field and fishing it, and looking forward to bringing those videos to you as well. If you like the video, please give me the thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Share with your friends. Looking forward to getting more content to you very soon, so keep it tuned here. And as always, may God bless your fishing endeavors.